Pages, Pixels, Pieces, the segment brought to you by The Fantasy Shop in Maplewood, Missouri. Proud to have our local comic book shop as our official sponsor. Comics, collectibles, toys, Magic the Gathering, and board games. The Fantasy Shop in St. Louis, proudly serving St. Louis since 1981. And my goodness, so many comics that have come out in the last couple of weeks that are just really exciting. The Last Jedi, number 2 and number 3 comic adaptations. Mm-hmm. I went on a big rant. I did not like the Rogue One version. Love this because there's so many there's a few moments, I should say, in the second and third issue with the Last Jedi adaptation where you're getting inside Luke's mindset and how he's talking about like how there's this great interlogue where he's like, I went in isolation, but what it did was it cost me, the people that I love. And then Leia awakens, and he triggers, they have that, twin connection again. And that would have been something great to have in the movie. Probably would have been very appropriate to have in the movie. Yeah. And so I enjoy exploring the relationships there. So I would recommend those two. I would recommend the Last Jedi adaptation for you. You also get Star Wars 49 in there, 50 coming out. Last Jedi number 3, or 50 is about to come out, I should say, next week. But you have Dr. Aphra as well, some annual issues. Lando Double or Nothing is a great comic that you should definitely look into. This is Donald Glover's version of Lando, and it is a fun, extended comic issue. So it's like double the pages, I think, of a regular issue. And it's just a fun adventure that you go on with him, and L3's in there as well. And I kind of like her a little bit better there in that situation. But I think the comic that we want to spend the time talking about right now is Darth Vader 17 that just came out. And that is because we get the conclusion of this Mon Cala assault that we're getting, where the Empire is up top bombarding the surface. You have this war happening on the planet. You have Vader trying to find Lee Char. You have the Inquisitors trying to track down these stray Jedi, or these followers of Master Bar on the planet. Jesse, we're seeing Star Destroyers just beat the hell out of the planet surface with laser cannons. I don't think I've ever seen an orbital assault really displayed like this before. Have you?
Yeah, so this orbital strike, as you're reading through the comic and everything, okay, this isn't just like, your typical like artillery bombardment. Like this is actually like a planet destroying. It's like think of it like this: like multiple nukes going off on our planet would just devastate our environment and atmosphere. Kind of like how you get that single reactor fire from the Death Star. In Rogue One.
And that's what we're getting because these
this is essentially the same thing.
These Star Destroyers are just pounding the surface with these. It looks like they have like just a large cannon that's under the ship that I wasn't aware of. Like I thought that Star Destroyers only had like the cannons on like the top and bottom. Mm-hmm. I didn't know it was like this like Death Star light cannon that could fire from, it looks like, the middle of the ship.
So essentially, if you know anything about Mon Cala is actually a water planet.
Right.
I mean, you can learn this through the Clone Wars, just through the expanded lore. Like in the comic, they're like, the oceans are starting to boil. This is a planet that's filled with basically people who live in the water. So like, and sure, I mean, billions.
You're getting a lot of fish sticks.
Yeah. Billions of people are dying as this is going on. And it's just like, man.
I think I thought that was just really cool because I've never seen Star Destroyers behave that way. So that was really cool to me. But, obviously what this issue is about was tracking down Bar and how he's able to use Order 66 to his advantage with these clone troopers betraying a lot of the Inquisitors. And then ultimately we get this duel with him and Vader, and it's thrilling, and you kind of get this idea that this Jedi might have sacrificed an entire species to give hope to the galaxy. And I don't want to go into too many specifics because there are a few other surprises that you'll experience as you read this comic. But what do you think about that? A Jedi sacrificing basically a planet worth of life.
I would actually almost, the best way to describe Master Bar after, once it's revealed that it's him and you learn everything that he's done, he's no longer a Jedi. He's not a Sith. I would say unofficially, you would actually label him as a gray Jedi.
See, I hate
light and dark.
I hate that title because if he's not a Jedi, then he can't be a gray Jedi. He would just be like something else. You're not the only one that uses this. A lot of people are like the gray Jedi. I'm like, no, you're either a Jedi, a Sith, or something else. You can't be like a, It's not like soda here. Diet Jedi. That doesn't work well. I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, but
Did that final battle work for you?
I kind of wanted just a little bit more, with it. Are we gonna do spoilers for this one?
I mean, I don't know. We can throw the spoiler. I mean, yeah, we're doing spoilers. So if you don't want to hear the spoiler, then fast forward 2 minutes. It would have
been nice if Barr would have been instead of actually calling Vader, if he would have called him Skywalker. Just a little salt in the wound.
Way more powerful.
Because I think that would have been like, I know who you are. I know what you did, kind of thing.
Right.
I think that really would have added to the moment more. But I mean, as is, it's still a 10 out of 10 comic.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt.
We say it every week. Charles Soule's Vader run is the best so far. We do have a giveaway. We have 9 comic books that we're going to give away. We're going to make you wait a little bit longer, but just so you know, that is coming up. We have a really good hashtag for that. But first, I want to get into EA at E3.
Oh, boy.
Star Wars Battlefront 2 receives a lot of Clone Wars era content over the next few months. That's the headline that we got from our buddies over at StarWarsNewsNet.com. And we've recently gotten the solo updates where you get to play like the Kessel Mine and a few other maps, and you get to play the solo version of these characters. Jesse, first, I want your feedback specifically on the news that we're going to get a lot of Clone Wars era stuff for the game.
Okay, so I don't just do cosplay in Star Wars. I am an avid video gamer. Okay, so I know EA just in general gets a lot of bashing just because of their company practices. I watched EA play at E3 simply because I love Battlefield and I was hoping for some Battlefront news, which we did get. So they start off this conference, this little moment and everything. I thought it was kind of nice because they apologized for how this game launched. Okay, and it's really frustrating because I feel like DICE is a really fantastic studio. They brought us Battlefield and everything. A really great game. And overall, Battlefront 2 is fantastic. Even before they fixed the microtransactions, closed them down. Single player mode, fantastic. Gameplay generally pretty good. So I thought it took a lot of guts to get up there in front of hundreds of people and admit that they made a mistake, that they are dedicated to bringing more content and fixing this to kind of earn that back. With that said, they talk about the Han Solo season, which basically gives us two young Han Solo parents' cosmetic skins, which is Han at the beginning of the Solo movie, and then you've got Han when he's part of Beckett's crew, and you also get a young Lando as well, which is really nice. They bring back an old game mode, Extraction. Basically, you've got this cargo box that one team's trying to push to the other point, and so kind of good. It's like tug of war kind of thing. So it was really cool. Nice tease. We get a new map and everything. Visually, it looked a lot of fun. I played it a little bit. And then they go into the Clone Wars stuff. And of course, I'm like, yes, because this is what Battlefront, the original Battlefront games, were made off of, was the Clone Wars and everything. So they kick it off with announcing, some new heroes. We're getting Grievous. We're getting General Grievous as a hero, followed up by General Kenobi himself, who's never set foot in a Battlefront game.
It's gonna be great.
We're also getting Count Dooku, which makes me happy because Christopher Lee is one of my favorite actors, and
also Dooku
saddens me that he's gone.
Dooku is really underappreciated because you only get to really learn how great of a villain he is through the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And so if you just go by what you see in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, he's just this crusty old man, but there's so much depth to that character.
Yeah. And then of course we get Anakin Skywalker to play with. And that's really exciting too. For me, what actually got me more excited was that we're getting a Geonosis map. We're also getting a couple different game modes. One sounded pretty similar to one involved destroying another capital ship.
Okay, so kind of like what we had in the original 2 games.
Yes, okay, if there's that merger of space combat and boarding another enemy ship, I'm all over it because that was fun.
Yeah.
And just in general, Clone Wars content, which obviously I can kind of already guess because about a month ago they did a bunch of cosmetic appearance skins for the different troopers and everything. I'm kind of expecting the same when we hit this Clone Wars season. You'll see color variations and throughout the trooper armor and everything. So it was pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Now the most awkward moment about
Oh, no.
EA at E3 was before they got up there to talk about Battlefront, and the host randomly spotted a game developer.
Right.
And unfortunately, this is my failure at homework, catching the name of the studio. But she kind of puts this guy on the spot, and oh, I hear you're working on a Star Wars game, like. And he's like you can tell this was an unscripted thing because he just went full on like awkward.
Mm.
And in a roundabout way, he announced an RPG game, Jedi Fallen Empire,
Yes.
along those lines, which is exciting in itself.
Mm-hmm.
But that little stigma towards EA for me is, are you going to cancel it and close the studio?
I don't know. I'm not too familiar with that. I did hear about the game. I was hearing also some reports that it might be like an open world type of thing.
Yeah, but it's just, last year's E3 they teased a open world Star Wars game, and it was through Visceral Studios, and it was like
Titanfall developer. Wouldn't that be it? Titanfall would be the name of the company that did that they got put on the spot here. I don't know. I'm trying to do the Google search for you right now. Or maybe EA did it. Okay, so Titanfall is going to be developing, but it's here, let me pull it up here.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
I hate not having the name.
Yeah, kind of awkward, but good to hear that this stuff is happening. As far as coming from E3, and it's also great to hear the passion. I still would rather like to see an Ahsoka and Captain Rex to play as characters in Battlefront 2. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But going through
it could still happen.
While EA has several Star Wars games currently in development, they've only released information on one entitled Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. So it still is an EA game, but I think Titanfall is going to be involved with that project to some extent. Of course, that's according to Yahoo, according to the article I just pulled up. So let's go ahead, and before we end up this segment, we got to give you away free comic books. So we're giving away 9 comic books in this batch right now, and all you have to do is be subscribed to our channel, comment down below with the hashtag what do we have here? That's my best Lando. That was terrible. But what do we have here? Hashtag what do we have here? It's a Lando quote. That's what you have to comment down below. We're going to share this on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. All you have to do is be following us and comment down below. Share it with your friends. I mean, you have a chance to win free comic books, and so do they. 9 comic books, 9 times 3 is 27. It's ultimately going to be about $38 worth of comic books because we're going to give you those books. We're going to bag them and board them in Mylar, so that way they're in pristine condition when they arrive to you, and you can display those, or you can just have really nice care for those books. So 9 comic books, might even throw something in an extra, but hashtag what do we have here? Comment down below, and also go ahead and let us know what you think about the news out of E3. Jesse, in one breath, gave you everything you needed to know about Star Wars.
I follow E3 closely.
At E3. If you haven't already, go ahead and smash that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. You can watch other videos just like this one right now by checking out these videos on your screen. And by the way, thanks for checking out Beyond the Blast Doors.